A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, it's 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It is Friday, the 12th. I like saying 12th because it has an F in there. Because a V turns into an F. Of September AD 2025, right? And we're having a loosey-goosey Friday show over here. Check out that beautiful crow, or perhaps raven. Perhaps a crow, but perhaps a raven. Down in San Onofre, California, around probably January 2025. State Beach. But the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of Hake. I don't even represent myself. I disclaim even my own comments. But I do, you guys know me. I do try to be careful, quote unquote. Be aware of what you're saying. Look at that beautiful thing. It reminds me of 90-pound wuss. Don't say that word, kids. But I felt okay saying it because it was a Christian band. Liberals. This crow. I had a T-shirt at one time for years. A 90-pound, we'll call it wimp, T-shirt. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Okay.
These cliffs are so soft.
Yeah, these are soft cliffs. Don't be standing near the ledge because it's dirt. Okay, dirt is not as solid as rock. Newsflash. Thank you to JLP/Pastor Chatelet rating the stream on Rumble. Good morning to Nicole and Jim in Alaska, the faithful viewers over on punchy.tv/Hake. What the Hake? Put on a shirt, boy. What do you mean? I'm not pink. Or desert pink, I think this t-shirt is. The Hake Report, la la la. Can't even say woos now. SMH. Things to get to. No endorsement nor opposition implied. Take everything that you hear and think and see with a grain of salt. We don't know, okay? But don't get into like conspiracies or conspiracy theories. At least not too much. You can, whatever, calm down. Thank you guys for the super chats. It's me, very generous, and Popcorn. I will read your yesterday's super chat. I definitely appreciate it, and pardon me, I didn't get around to reading it yesterday. But I suppose, anyway, guys, it is the AJ Gallardo original theme song because it's Friday. So let's just get right on with the show. Whoa. Ah.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey, you guys! You can call in 888-77-JESSE, 1-888-775-3773. Sweet.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how you guys doing? I'm fine. Look at the beautiful dirt. Tiny bits of rocks and pebbles formation there. Nice. Very cool. Anyway, this is Desert Pink, this t-shirt over here. So, it's manly. Kids Don't wear pink. Well, girls can. I don't even know if this shirt is available anymore. I mean, you can take your chances with Teespring. There's probably other colors available on Printify, okay? FYI. Hake.printify.me. All right? So thank you guys. Sweet. And I won't bother showing you the website, all right, at that time. At this time. For once in my life. I have some things to cover. First of all, as you may know, I mean, most of you who catch the Hake Report also catch the Jesse Lee Peterson show. And early this morning, early for us, our time, we're in the West Coast of the United States of America. Our greatest president, Trump, appeared on Fox and Friends, a competitor's show on TV, and stated he thinks with a large amount of certainty that they captured the alleged assassin, the suspect in the shooting and horrible murder of the great Charlie Kirk, the late great Charlie Kirk. Also yesterday, Trump said that he spoke with the wife, the widow, and she was devastated. Terrible, huh? What a mess. She and their children were at the event where Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. Did you guys see that footage of that guy in the crowd who seemed to be standing up tall and looking back? Yeah. Don't know if that's real or not, okay? I don't know if it's real or not. I disclaim, but I wanted to show you guys a little lesson about AI. Not that you guys don't know this, but, you know, for the boomers. And again, we don't know if this person was really, you know, people joke around. We all joke around, and sometimes it's at quote unquote inappropriate times. But let's see, do I have it? Yeah. But I looked on Google AI because I wanted to know. I searched on, basically I did a search on both Google and on Brave. Man in the crowd seems to celebrate Charlie Kirk's shooting at the event, right? Multiple eyewitnesses reported some people in the crowd reacted with apparent celebration or callous remarks immediately following the fatal shooting of our greatest millennial, Charlie Kirk, at Utah Valley, who towers among men, at Utah Valley University, September 10th, 2025 AD. So an eyewitness, Adam Bartholomew, told reporters that some young attendees, whom he described as not liking Charlie Kirk, were heard saying things like fingers crossed or expressing hope that he had been shot in the immediate aftermath of the initial shot. Reporters from sources like Republic TV highlight a newly discovered crowd video, and that was on Drudge for a little while, that purportedly shows a man later identified, doxxed, as Matt Tabor. And again, we don't know if Matt Tabor was joking around. You know, you could give people some slack for a bad joke or give them slack for being evil. Let them be evil. Celebrating the shooting. Videos and claims of celebrating have circulated on YouTube. Okay, so it's what you expect. People are evil and psycho like that. So I don't know if Matt Tabor is one of them, but wish you well, Matt Tabor. People were speculating, oh, was he in on it? How did he know? And stuff like that. You can think pretty quickly when you're, and, you know, get all celebratory. Crazy. Overall scene was chaotic. Video showing crowd dispersing. So you could just be joking around and be like, yeah. But most people were getting down. Hit the deck when there's a shooting, right? Get down low. Purportedly, you're a little safer being low, less of a target, smaller target. In a separate incident, Secret Service agent was placed on administrative leave for reportedly posting gleefully about Charlie Kirk's death on social media. Secret Service. So what a mess, huh? Terrible. Okay, so that was Google AI, but the lesson about it was I searched on Brave browser, which is supposedly less liberal and less biased. Man celebrates Charlie Kirk shooting. They say there is no indication in the provided sources that a man in the crowd celebrated Charlie Kirk's shooting at the event. What do you mean no indication? There's an indication that he may have. People definitely feared for their lives. So, come on. They compared Charlie Kirk to Adolf Hitler. Lord have mercy. As old, what's his name, Kevin Howe in the chat said, the guy was like a milquetoast conservative guy. He was a nice guy. So people are like, oh, dude, it's like a whole, it is like a whole witch hunt on anybody and everybody on many sides. That's not the picture. That's not the scene that Drudge had earlier. Let me go to Drudge and bring this over here. I mean, it's not going to show it right now. I wonder if I can go over here. Let me show you guys something that's probably not important anymore because they're such old news. Let's say recent headlines, I guess. Lord have mercy. I disclaim this is not an ad that I claim. I think you can hit this safely. Okay, so if we peruse, today's the 12th. Earlier this morning, I was checking around. Was it still there at 5:30 in the morning? Oh yeah, because the problem is they don't show the picture. Shock video, man at the scene cheers the shooting. So hopefully this at least shows him seeming to celebrate, all right? So cover your ears. Oh, that's dumb. I don't care about that. Okay, so see that guy? You saw that? What in the world? See that? That guy seems to be like celebrating and in the general direction of the shooter. Someone who celebrates his death, united, divided we stand. So could he have been in on it? Could he have been seriously celebrating? Could he have been joking around? Could it have been like he just reacted quickly and what? Because he could easily not necessarily know what's going on, and he just saw Charlie Kirk. He just saw that, looked up and saw Charlie Kirk is not there. And he's like, yay, he's off the stage and not even know that he's gone, you know? I'm speculating, but I'm just pointing out that we don't know. You don't know. And another example of this is, let's see, x.com/racist producer, maybe? Is that the one that? Yeah. Okay, so I saw this and over on far left, I call them far left. They're not even, they're a mess, all right? TMZ. I wonder if I can play this.
We were live streaming all day during this tragedy when something happened in our office. As we were reporting the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there were some people in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase. And they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it out here. And we want to make a couple of things clear. One is that I know these people, and they were not laughing, they were not reacting that way about Charlie Kirk's assassination. They were not. They would not work here if they did.
And that being said, we acknowledge that it was horrible timing.
Okay, so what happened was they were reporting about it, and right before he says, the white guy here, who's in charge, he's been the face of TMZ for a long time, says we have confirmed that he has died. Right before that, you hear this, yeah, cheering at TMZ. And everybody thought that TMZ employees were cheering that Charlie Kirk got killed. But it was a car chase that happened on the 10th in LA, and they were cheering, I don't know why, and laughing. And so this guy, they're explaining, you don't know what's going on. FYI.
And for that, we are sorry.
We apologize.
They're apologizing because they were laughing at a wrong time, but they weren't laughing about what the mind told you were laughing at.
We apologize
I get
that you
why-
had to hear that.
And I get why if you were watching the stream, you may have felt that that's what the laughter was about. We assure you it was not.
You guys better, TMZ, you guys better not ding me for like a copyright for me playing your little video here. At the end of their videos, they always go, so, hey, what did Scott Adams? Oh, Scott Adams say, yeah, that was nice. I forgot that I'm on Jesse's Racist Producer. That's a little, back when I was producer for JLP. Anyway, so you don't know what happened, all right? You're reading way into people's laughter, people's words. You see it in the chat. You see it in the Hake chat. People interpreting Hake as being pro-PDF, pro-unchristian PDF. Those dreads are ridiculous. Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's a grown man. More people watch your show than theirs, says Kill the Ego. Nice. Yeah, they should be thanking me. Hake defending demons as usual, says, come on, man. Yeah, exactly. That's the type of interpretation of Hake that you see. People are totally in their heads, and they may be trolling and joking around, or they may really, in their sick minds, believe their own lies and their own imagination. That's why I said, take everything you think with a grain of salt. Because right away you think that these are the facts. But no, you're interpreting the facts. What a mess. Some sick stuff going on in the world. What's up, Tyrannosaurus is wrecked? What's up, man? So, calm yourselves, please. And if you don't please, still do it. Okay? Okay. Now, I don't want to get to I do want to get to your calls, but I don't want to, so I will very shortly get to your calls. I'm not going to get to anything else first except to note down, calm yourselves. And TMZ, oh yeah, did that guy celebrate? Was he in on it? TMZers didn't cheer it, okay? And what else was I? Oh yeah, Charlie Kirk. They got the guy. And the wife devastated, the widow devastated. What a mess, huh? Terrible mess. Let's get to some calls. Stu in North Dakota is on the line over here. Stu, have you called into Hake before? Oh, hold on, Stu. You're not on it. You're not on air. My bag. Go ahead, Stu.
Hey, what's up, James?
Hey.
Yeah, I did. This is my second time calling. I had called before.
Cool.
Yeah, I was just wondering your thoughts, man. Rest in peace to Kirk. What's your thoughts on, people, on social media putting out their own evil thoughts on the situation and them kind of getting doxxed out there
Yeah.
to their employers. And then I guess some of them, I don't think not all, but some of them they're getting fired from their jobs and stuff like that.
I personally don't think that that pretty much either side should be getting doxxed or fired, and especially not the right, because the right are not malicious at all, you know? Well, there's some malicious people on the right who are saying crazy stuff. But now is the time for a little grace and mercy. Sorry, it sounds so girly, but for real, like, let's bring back the spirit of the freedom of speech a little bit. And if somebody, within reason, of course, like somebody is calling for somebody else to be next, that is a threat. And that's worth firing over. But don't get all, I encourage the normal people not to be all in a witch hunt to get people fired. Because I see there's all kinds of excitement. The crowd is going to do what the crowd is going to do. The crowd being the right-wing crowd who want the liberal transgender or cross-dressing professor at such and such college to get fired because he's so nasty and evil, hates his parents, and hated Charlie Kirk and others. Watch your excitement and thrill over these haters. Hating the haters is having the spirit of the hater, the same spirit of the assassin. Yeah. And then if this happens to you, be like Jesus and move forward with your life.
I could agree, but I also think you're you're James Hake. You're a bigger person than most people. My thoughts on it are kind of that little saying is, mess around and find out. If you're gonna air out your dirty laundry online, and you're right, I'm all for freedom of speech, but kind of writing on, your own disclaimers, how, the majority of the things you disclaim are not the thoughts and whatever that represent the show and stuff. I think employers are entitled to that, but at the same time, like say for instance, me at my work, I work in healthcare. I'm not going to get into it, but when I'm dealing with people on the job, the people I deal with who aren't employers, like people that I care for and stuff like that, they try to ask me questions. They try to ask me of my own opinions and things like that.
Right.
I'm quick to shut them down.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, with all due respect, I can't speak on, a certain topic.
Yeah, just be like, I have to keep it professional and
right.
not bring my thoughts into it. Yeah.
But then again, like you were just saying, you're right. The general populace, the average consumer, I guess there's just a lot of people out there that just don't have that sense of thought. And irregardless, which isn't a word, when when they're off the clock, and they're out there in their own lives on their free will, still spewing things online, like doxing, of course not. Yeah, that's not a thing. Don't do it.
Yeah,
but
it's not right.
You got to understand that. Yeah, you do say certain things. I actually think it's a great thing that people are revealing their true selves to everybody else, so that we know, geez, this person got down like that. I kind of should be a little wary of them.
Right.
Not like be scared of them, not chastise them, not ostracize them, but just, okay, I didn't know they roll like that. Now I know. I'm glad I know.
I agree with that. Yeah, that's another reason that you want the freedom of speech.
Right. Yeah.
And not so that you can judge them, but just so you can know where people are coming from. And
Right.
even when they say stuff, you don't necessarily know everything that they're coming from. Because people can say stuff and you interpret it in a way that they don't even mean it. But still,
Exactly.
yep. That's partly
Right.
why you need the freedom of speech so that people can say stuff. And then rather than condemn them, you allow them to elaborate if it's appropriate to elaborate.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting, this free speech topic. You know, there's been a lot of posts online. I'll admit I'm an avid Twitter type person, and
Yeah.
I can't quite recall who the congressman, senator, or whatnot. It's one of those politicians. They put it out there that they wanted to introduce to Congress or whatever a new bill to permanently ban, you know, anybody who doesn't have, you know, acceptable thoughts or opinions that they post online. Put a ban permanently on all platforms. They're going to try to make this a law, or this guy was thinking of trying to make this a law.
Wow.
Yeah, immediately I was like, no, dude, what?
Yes, I agree with you, man. You know, there was, I don't know if you're still there. Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
cool. I wasn't sure if you cut out. At the press conference yesterday afternoon, evening, with that governor of Utah, he said there's a lot of disinformation going on, and people are really hawkishly watching the internet and getting into the internet. No, just spend time with your family. And he said there's a lot of Russia and China people on the internet trying to stir up trouble and division in the country. And I'm like, that just made me roll my eyes. I'm not saying that there's not Russia and China people trying to stir up division, but there's plenty of people in America who welcome and love division and hatred in America. You don't need to mention Russia and China. The enemy of America, the biggest threat to America, is the ego people in America who hate America. And then our own egos hating the people who hate America. Because that's doing no good for America either. That's why I loved Trump's response, was he pointed out the people who are the biggest per capita offenders of this violence and terrorism and hatred, which is the radical left, which is most of the left, honestly, at least of the politicians and media types, seemingly, at least most of the loud voices.
Yeah.
And so right on to him for that. People were calling him divisive for that, but no, he was telling the plain truth. And it's not to say that the right-wingers aren't doing it too, but the left, the radical left, are the biggest perps. And he was condemning it for all we need to be for love and peace and truth.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong about, you know, people on the right doing it as well. I'm glad you brought up that. Oh, geez. I'll hold my tongue on my thoughts about that governor of Utah.
Yeah, isn't he? I'm sorry. I know that you want to hold your thoughts. Hasn't he been I feel like I heard that he was kind of pro-LGBT and a rhino.
It's funny. I'm getting heated. Just
I know I'm
about
tempting
it.
you. It's terrible.
Long story short, 2023, I spent the summer all the way to the winter of those seasons working in Salt Lake City. I didn't know anything about Utah. I didn't know anything about Salt Lake City. All I knew, or, you know, people telling me things like, oh yeah, you know, it's a pretty decent place, pretty religious, yada, yada, yada. I was like, oh, okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with people, you know, being religious. I'm okay with people thinking what they want to think. When I got there, like I said, just that little short time, 2023, summer of 2023 to the winter of 24, I did not know. I was surprised at all the weed dispensaries, at all the homosexuals. Shout out to the homosexuals. We love you guys. That there were in this area that I was staying in Salt Lake City. I was just all like, huh, kind of different than what a lot of people were telling me about the whole religious thing, because I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Utah's
Okay.
a fallen state.
Yep.
Yeah. But I just wanted to get your thoughts. Thanks, man, for taking the call.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
All right.
All right.
Take care. Thanks.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. Very cool. Very interesting. William the Third is on the line over here. William, thank you for calling and holding there. What's up, man? Are you there? Come off of mute if you're on mute. Yeah, boomer. He's Gen X. He's not boomer. William the Third, are you there? Or William number 7, are you there? I think it's the third. Going once. Let me put him on hold. We can check on him. Let me just get to David in Texas, Tejas, on the line here. David, thanks for calling and holding. What's up?
Good morning, young man.
Morning, old man. Kidding around.
That's right. That's right. I'm getting there. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, of course.
If I owned TMZ, I would certainly put out some anti-propaganda saying that in the background the cheering was for a police chase, which y'all have no shortage at all of police chases. I've never even heard anybody cheer at the end or during a police chase. So I disagree that that's what was going on. I see TMZ most definitely as a
Stay close
as
to
a
your
left-wing
phone.
operation.
Stay close to your phone.
I see TMZ. I'm trying.
Okay, thank you.
I see TMZ as a left-wing outfit for sure.
I do too.
And
In that they are LGBT. They aid and abet in witch hunts over fake racism, or they have a history of that over the past 10, 15 years. So yeah. But I don't think that I believe their police chase story, actually.
I know you do.
Yeah.
You also believe the Earth is round.
I do indeed. Are you a flat earther or a ball-tard, out of curiosity?
I am neither a leader or a follower.
Okay, so you are.
I have no idea. I really don't have any idea. I like the idea of it being flat just because it goes against everything that I've been taught,
Yeah.
which falls right in line with everything else that I've been taught being a lie. So,
Right.
I don't really get a thrill out of it either way. I think I think I'm kind of like you with how you say about the blacks. It's kind of entertaining to me.
Right.
But I mean, whether it won't have any effect on my life,
Right.
One way or another.
That's
Kind of
funny.
one of those things that there's nothing that I can do about it.
Nice.
But yeah, rest in peace, Charlie, man. I mean, I have a good friend of mine that called me, right after it happened, and he, he's a big. He said he listened to Charlie every day. I think it really kind of wrecked him a little bit. So I shared the JLP show this morning with him, via text message, and told him that we love Charlie too. So
You should share yesterday's show with him as well, because yesterday's show was a great comfort to I think a lot of people regarding the Charlie Kirk situation.
Yeah, for sure. It's a real shame. It's a real shame to see, the cheering of this. As much as I didn't like Joe Biden, if somebody would have tried to do him in, I would not have been happy about that. It just, to me, it just indicates, kind of where we are as a country, and it's a little disturbing. to say the least.
It's disturbing to see where we are as a country. What now? I was distracted. Say it again.
That's okay. Yeah, I just said it's disturbing to see. I said if Joe Biden would have been, or any Democrat really, would have been on the chopping block. I don't want to be the one to celebrate something like that. I can tell you, however, that and I've since changed my direction of thinking about it. But when the guy pulled through there on his scooter and said that, and then everybody started beating up on him,
They said he
there
said
was
F.
a part of me that was like,
He said
yeah,
F. He
yeah.
said F. Charlie
There was a
Kirk.
part of me that was,
Yep.
at a vigil.
Right.
Yeah, there was part of me that was like, yeah, get him, and then after I stopped and thought about it some more, I was like, that's not the kind of response I want to have, because then I'm just the same,
Right.
and I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. So
That's right. Yep, indeed.
I think you're doing a fantastic job, young man.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you.
Shout out to you for sharing JLP with your Charlie Kirk fan friend.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Maybe he can fill some of the void with some good old JLP
Right.
and some Hake.
Nice.
I have to slowly introduce him to you because you're an outlier for sure.
That's funny, man.
All right, man. You have a great weekend, and we'll see you at spiritually. I'll see you at church.
Cool, man. Sounds good. Church with Jesse Lee
All right,
Peterson.
buddy.
Take care.
Heck yeah. You too, man.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. What a mess. I believe that William in California is on the line over here. William, thanks for calling and holding, man. Thanks for calling back.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I had a call, and it's okay. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, I was going to call and talk about that, what your first caller was talking about. I think you should be advised that even in your chat and even in these social medias, people are being canceled and fired left and right because of this. That's why I was kind of slow to speak on this thing until we get all the details.
Right.
Get a suspect. And
yeah, there's no need to buy into the, the information first, be the first. That's ego media company talk. Yep.
Yeah. And I agree with him. Even I don't like Joe Biden or Obama. I don't like those people, but I wouldn't want anything like that to happen to them. And
right.
I think everybody needs to be aware of their electronic footprint. I mean, that is serious right now because Joe Biden is not in office. They're going to be looking at these things online a little bit different than they have been. And Charlie Kirk was a very popular man. Sort of like, I'm thinking he would have been within 10 to 15 years, he'd have been looking at making a run for the White House.
Yeah,
so
that's what people were saying.
Yeah, one of the younger stars.
Indeed. There's Charlie Kirk. There's people were talking about Tucker Carlson, and there's Nicholas J. Fuentes. Three of like the most talented, relatively young people.
He was very talented.
Who are at least they're great speakers and communicators, and they potentially could do well in politics if they became.
And I've never seen him be disrespectful towards anybody.
Yeah.
And you do have the option of free speech in this country, but a lot of younger people do not really understand any of the amendments. They don't have them on hand. Like, you can just get it on your phone as an app, and you should have it. You should read it. You should read all of it.
The 10 Amendments.
You have freedom of speech. You do.
Bill of Rights.
But it is not at the infringement of others. In other words, you cannot go on your job and just say anything you want. I can't drop an F-bomb in front of your 3-year-old. But you can, but it's not morally right.
That's right. Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that out there. Everybody be careful with your electronic footprint, because people are, whether it's wrong or right, they are being canceled and fired. There's a couple of teachers. They got it yesterday, and I think somebody in some high up in Congress. No, who got it? Was it a politician that got it? Got censored?
I'm not sure, but I've heard of maybe even cops or at least firemen and paramedics and other people getting fired for stuff that they're saying on the internet. And it may take place years later, decades later. It could still take place.
And you might have silenced him physically, his living body, but his movement, what is that, Turning Point? He did do a good job with teaching a lot of younger people, especially college kids, because they're like not the smartest when you look at them.
They really aren't. Oh yeah, and that's been the case forever, honestly.
And his message is going to keep going, and even if they're celebrating, even chat, it goes to chat too. He did and all that. Okay, his message is going to continue. As a matter of fact, Charlie Kirk is responsible for starting Rumble. So
wow, I wasn't aware of that. Or if I was, I forgot about that. I know that certainly his ilk was involved.
And the stocks are gonna skyrocket. So Charlie Kirk's message is going to continue because I think he would have been looking at a run 15 years, 16 years from now. I'm pretty sure, because he was only 31 years old. But shout out to Charlie Kirk and his work, and it's going to continue. And I'm going to tell you, he was more popular worldwide than Malcolm X and Martin Luther King could ever think about being.
Nice. That's right. Malcolm X.
He was.
Shout out.
And Martin Luther King, when he got assassinated and they brought out that horse and carriage thing, I wasn't but a kid then, but I even thought back then that was kind of overkill. And how many times if you, as a black person, you go in somebody's house or their grandma and they had that velvet blanket in the dining room with Martin, JFK, and Jesus.
For a second, I thought you meant Martin, the black comedian with the TV show from the 90s.
Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
No, they would have this thing with Jesus, JFK, and MLK, and it used to make me cringe.
Of course.
Martin Luther King wasn't what people think they are.
Yeah, totally. Charlie Kirk was right about MLK, somewhat.
Oh yeah.
And actually, I think JLP and guys like Chad O. Jackson are even more right about MLK than even Charlie Kirk.
Let me point out to you how indoctrination works. Like, I was 8 when RFK and JFK, like one after the other, when they got assassinated, right? So that means, it being 8 years old, you're a grade schooler, and guess what they were pumping in the history books? And the people weren't even dead 10 years yet. They were pumping it in.
Oh,
MLK.
They were national heroes.
Yeah. The same way that they're doing the young people today.
Wow.
Same way.
That's what we're trying to do with Charlie Kirk. He's a real American hero and a martyr for free speech.
He really was, man. He's more popular than Martin. Martin was only popular here. I mean, people all over
and he
the
was
world
very divisive here, just like Charlie Kirk, actually.
I mean, he was more of an American thing. Malcolm X, too. Even though people around the world knew about them, Charlie Kirk's following was much stronger.
Nice.
And, God bless his sister. I mean, his wife and those 2 kids. And it's just classless, and I didn't want to bring out any details.
Charlie Kirk's wife and kids. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that. The weapon, we were all talking about what kind of weapon it was. Remember, I told you about that Coyote? I have one of those guns.
Oh, a real Coyote, not a human trafficker for letting in illegals, helping illegals come in.
That's trying to mess around with the cows. Yeah, I'm not messing with that thing. You know why? Because I have one of those guns, and I'm leaving it up here in the country. I'm not even bringing that thing back home because the sound with that echo told me that's a bolt action high powered rifle. That's a 30-06, and I don't want to discharge that weapon out here over a Coyote because even though it's in the country, there's farms and people, and there's houses around here.
Yeah, people have been killed by stray bullets. People have been target shooting. It goes through a window. Somebody's driving by. No way.
I'm not discharging that weapon because that round goes so far, and I think that was 180 meters. and he's not a professional. It doesn't look like he was a professional, but I could tell you that particular gun, 30-06, with a scope, 200 meters, you can shoot maybe a half a box of them, and you can pretty much hit the targets. So he wasn't professional. He left a lot of prints, a lot of evidence behind and everything.
Yeah.
But that particular weapon, you are capable. A non-shooter can pick it up, and within a week, you can, so it's like, I heard that echo. Don't want to look at the video ever again.
Yeah, me either.
I
already see it in my mind too much already.
No. But I have one, and I'm not gonna use that thing out here.
Nice.
Because it goes too far. And hats off to Charlie Kirk, man.
Nice.
His work is going to continue. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And like I said, everybody be careful about their electronic footprint, because they are.
Watch what you say on the internet. It's
correct.
Yeah. It's better to say nothing.
That's right, James.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, man.
All right.
And happy Black Friday. I don't have to report anything that they've done because they do it every day. So
yeah.
I'll lay off of that for today.
Right on, man. Take care.
Take care, man.
Bye. I got this text from Derrick, the greatest producer of the JLP show. I guess I'll copy paste it on the in the YouTube chat for you guys. Shall I paste it in the Rumble chat? Because you guys are there too, right? I'll paste it in the Rumble chat. I wish Rumble. The caller mentioned Rumble. Rumble has. Oh man, what did I just do? There we go. Rumble has. I can close that. I think. Rumble has the replays. No, Rumble. I wish Rumble, and I don't know if Charlie Kirk was involved in the starting of Rumble, like the caller said. He may be. He may be totally right. What is that? Where are we? Didn't I post it? Did I not post it? Is that it? Yeah. Rumble, I wish Rumble had live chat replay. But this person, I don't really want to promote him, but I just can't help it. I'm signal boosting him. You could call him a competitor of mine. Tariq Nasheed, who appeared on The Fallen State and on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. He writes, I see people are trying to rewrite history as far as Charlie Kirk. He had no major legislative achievements because he was not a congressman. Duh. Nor did he submit laws that I'm aware of for Congress. No intellectual contributions, claims he, meaning he didn't invent anything necessarily. Although he did awaken a lot of young people, kind of like Ben Shapiro did. A gateway to the alt-right. A gateway to anti-Semitism and white supremacy. Ben Shapiro, according to the left. He had, and no grassroots credibility. I don't know what you mean by that. His fame was manufactured by targeting, capital B, black people as scapegoats. What? He was a suspected white supremacist, and that's it. So claimed Tariq Nasheed, and I shall perhaps refrain from responding because these vicious, nasty black people are vicious and nasty, and all I can get is blocked from, maybe not Tariq, because Tariq is a nice guy. A nasty nice, right? Nasty type of nice. Nice meaning evil. An evil person, but nice. But evil. Same thing. Nice until he's not. It must be part white, because that's what whites are. Nice until we're not, which is not a good thing. But that's not true. Charlie Kirk barely even thought or talked about the blacks, except for telling the plain truth about them and being kind of overly gracious, honestly, in saying, oh, it was evil, it was wrong, and during Jim Crow. And maybe it was evil, maybe it was wrong, but there's this overstating how evil and wrong it was, I think. I suspect. Suspected white supremacy is a common term that this guy says. This This young man, not as young as me. He's a nasty person, really. He like, he came up with this thing about, I refrain from even repeating it, but basically they fantasize about whites being the R-wordists, apists, rays, against black men and black women. All right, so it may have happened on some occasions, perhaps, white on black, but primarily the R word happens the other way around today, and probably even, perhaps even back then as well. Because like I told Stephen from Maryland, when you're in the mood and you have low self-control, which especially nowadays, these certain people kind of do have low self-control, you listen to the devil and do what is insane, which is to say commit R or M, which is to say murder, or M, molest. So, please, Charlie Kirk told the plain truth. You know, here, let me show you an example. JLP talk of Charlie Kirk. This is what I'm thinking of. Let me play the clip over here. Okay, so here's Charlie Kirk, Trump, JLP saying he's right about this.
Something changed. Data shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000 black men, women, and children were killed in violent lynch mobs.
She mentioned 4,000 black men and women, supposedly, were killed in violent lynch mobs. Over the course of 80 years, lady, that many get killed in Detroit in a matter of 10 years. Or at least according to, anyway, whatever. According to the statistics. So you don't know what you're talking about, lady. And those were for alleged crimes that they allegedly committed. So it wasn't like a widespread thing.
That's your explanation, but I guess...
Racial terror permeated American culture for hundreds of years.
She doesn't know what she's talking about.
You don't think that affected the generational psyche of an entire group of people?
Psyche, generational psyche, or psych.
I'm sure it did. I'm not discounting that. I'm just, it shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad. It was...
Yeah, blacks were better. Look at this. Look at her all shocked that blacks were doing better in the 40s.
Evil, but what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000.
And so JLP said Charlie Kirk was right. Blacks were better off during, quote unquote, Jim Crow. And you notice that he said during Jim Crow, not under Jim Crow. Because they weren't under Jim Crow. It was during Jim Crow. They didn't feel like they were under oppression. They had families, worked, thought for themselves, treated people as they'd like to be treated. Civil rights, quote unquote, no such thing, was the worst thing that happened to the blacks. No longer think for themselves. No longer work as much per capita. Commit more crime per capita. Don't treat one another as they would like to be treated, as Jesus said. They're lying about how bad slavery and Jim Crow was, writes JLP. I grew up on a plantation during those days, states JLP. Born in 49. It was amazing. We were, quote unquote, poor, but we didn't know we were poor. The older blacks knew that MLK and those guys were no good. It was the young blacks who fell for the lie. Very nice. Shout out JLP. And so, I just noticed that these blacks, shout out, are just so self-important and self-centered. And it's not even self. It's the false idea of black-centered. Their fellow black identity-centered. As if that's all Charlie Kirk talked about. Charlie Kirk didn't build his brand on that. Manufactured by targeting black people. You could call it manufactured fame because he had a lot of money behind him. But he was a talented, hardworking, not backing down type of a guy. And I don't know if he got a thrill from debating. Debating is thrilling for a young man. Cut him some slack. But phony. These blacks, all so self-important. It's kind of like you say something in passing, and your girlfriend, if you have one, or your boyfriend, if you have one, ladies, or whoever says something in passing, and they forget that they said it, but you never forget because you identified and were offended by something that they said. And that's how these petty, self-centered, lame-o, ridiculous, silly persons, such as, Tariq always feels like he's trolling to me. He doesn't seem like he's actually serious about anything that he says, actually, to me. It's kind of like Nick Fuentes talking about Trump, saying all these supposedly horrible things about Trump that I hear that he says. Unfortunately, I don't get the pleasure of watching him all the time, okay? But says that Trump is basically like owned by Israel or something. I don't know. And I don't take that too seriously. Trump is the man in the arena of being the president. And Nick Fuentes, also a man in the arena of being a marginalized but much loved leader in his own right. And part of his job is to talk about Trump and criticize and praise and comment. But I don't take it too seriously what people say, especially guys like this. Ridiculous. So anyway, he's just trying to... So he's the one trying to rewrite history. You hear Mays talk about, trying to not teach history. Meaning not teach the fake CRT, critical race theory, fake imaginary racism, victimhood stuff. Overstating how bad slavery was and stuff like that. What a mess. Shout out. Total shout out. Okay, so. Nice. Where are we? Tariq. And Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace, King. Based King. That's what I called him yesterday on my title. It's her story, Hake. I know. Rewriting history. Self-absorbed. Reaction. Putting a importance. It's like a black thinking that all I talk about is blacks. That's all you talk about. And it's literally not. Or there was this guy who said 80% of something, or 30% of what JLP talks about is the gays, the LGBTs. And it's literally not. It never has been. But ignorant people making something bigger than it actually is. Lying. From Derrick, the black producer. Shout out. Nice, huh? We're at the top of the hour. I think I might have lied and said that I would get right to your calls. I forget if I lied or not. I forget whether or not I lied. Whether or not I misled you. But I shall not get to calls quite yet because I have super chats to read from Popcorn and others. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Popcorn writes, yesterday, you make an interesting point about the word anger. You know how Trump said he had great anger and grief over Charlie Kirk's killing. And you know what JLP says about anger, but the word anger doesn't mean the spirit of anger, right? The evil spirit. So you don't know what he meant. If someone says they have anger, you contend that they may not actually have it. What is gained from someone asking the question, do you have anger? Could you answer that? Yes, you can ask somebody, do you have anger? like JLP does, and they can answer yes, and then they elaborate what they mean. I could stub my toe and say that it made me angry, but in reality, you can't judge a dresser or whatever I stubbed my toe on, so that's not anger. So alleges Popcorn's thump keg. You ever bumped your head and gotten mad, or stubbed your toe and got some pain and gotten mad? Yeah, that could be the spirit of anger because it takes over you. It's disproportionate. It's not practical. Whereas you're like, ouch. Which is an overreaction too. It's not practical. So that could be the spirit of anger, the spirit of emotion, the spirit of like overreaction, a frightful spirit. People freeze. And that's some people overcome that with just training. Soldiers, military guys, or fighters and stuff. They overcome the overreaction and flinching. You get used to getting punched in the face, and so you don't flinch at getting hit in the face. That way you keep your wits about you and can, you like my form, and can see the openings and swing and dodge and bob and weave or whatever with boxing and stuff. And that's like you're still not overcoming the spirit, but you're overcoming the physical fears. But you can definitely have hating the situation is still the anger. I shall alert you, Popcorn's thump keg. Alert, alert. Stubbing your toe and getting mad about it is the spirit of anger, potentially. Watch yourself. I will say the GWH Great White Hope is the only person I've seen you give deference to when they themselves admit that they have anger. Indeed. He even wrote a book that he has great anger, or mentioning it. When they themselves admit that they have anger, almost as if he couldn't possibly have worldly anger, only godly anger. Right, but almost is not actually, because I leave room. Maybe he does have the worldly anger. I'm saying I don't know. Do you honestly believe that, or are you just keeping this idea up that he's above the fray no matter what he does? I do leave open that he may be above the fray no matter what he does, but I leave it as an I don't know. You know what I mean? I leave it as an I don't know, partly because I've never seen phoniness in him. You seen phoniness in Trump? Pfft. You seen pridefulness in him? People project their narcissism and pride on him. Oh, he's so boastful. He's promoting himself. It's me, about 62 coffees. Very generous. It's me. Thank you kindly. Or physically generous anyway. Thank you kindly. That's cool. Nice. I appreciate it. Much appreciated. And thank you to last month. A month ago. Did I offend Lin Yan Chin one too many times with my mouth breatherishness? He hasn't given me any super chats in a month. He has me tripping out in my head. What gives? Maybe he just needs, well, who knows? Nice. Anyway, let me get back to, at least the girl's wearing pink. The Charlie Kirk girl. So there's your coffees. Trump may not have the spirit of anger. Okay? What are you talking about? Okay. Let's get back to the calls. All right? All right. Jermaine in Canada on the line here. Jermaine, thanks for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Hey, James, 007 sharpshooter.
The good kind. Only in self-defense or in, the appropriate situation.
Nice.
I almost wore my I looked at my American Shooter Las Vegas t-shirt. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't wear that today. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Happy Black Friday.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I'm calling about I see a lot of comments on the internet from the Islamic people. I'm on speaker. Am I coming in proper? Like good?
You're coming in okay. You said you are on speaker for some necessary reason.
I'm driving. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're sounding fine so far.
Okay, nice. So yeah, I see a lot of hated comment from the Islamic people there, and from the blacks too, for Charlie Kirk, because of some statements that he had previously made, especially the one about the black pilot. I find it actually funny.
Oh yeah, everybody's all mad because he said, when I see a black pilot, I'm like, oh Lord, I hope he's qualified, which is a valid concern. It's a valid concern because they've gone so overboard with this DEI stuff. You see all these black judges and black prosecutors and black politicians. They seem less qualified per capita. So, yeah, it's a real concern.
Yeah.
And those people are affecting society. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, oh man, they hate this man, which is kind of funny. And then for the Islamic belief people, they're like, oh, he was against genocide against Palestine, and I don't think he was open for...
Oh, he was for genocide for Palestine. Yeah. That's what they said about Charlie. I did see that. Yeah, Ilhan Omar, all ridiculous, and that other black... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but he was saying that, I mean, they don't hold horror beliefs, so... And then they're coming to America and Canada too with their beliefs. They don't believe in Christianity, so of course they're gonna come and bring their beliefs onto our. Well, I'm here now, so I guess it's our country.
Yeah.
You know, so because they have no love, they really have no love because they wouldn't even pray for the family or like wish them well. They're like, there's no love in their heart for him.
Yeah.
Which is kind of messed up. It shows, in Christianity, even though it's fake love, but at least they try to show some compassion towards his dad and, wish him well and stuff like that,
Right.
It's the only religion that people kind of identify with will bring them closer to some love, or I mean, it's not real, but compassionate towards the family and people in general. These people are just rigidly evil, and they're like, well, he's against our beliefs, so have him, or all this kind of stuff, which is messed up.
Yeah.
And the Bible says, like, love your enemy and pray for who persecute you, because it will bring you closer to your Father, who you become sons of a Father who's in heaven.
That's
and
right.
The Muslim, they don't believe in that.
Interesting. So true, man.
They're just defending their ideology, and they don't care who's in their way.
They're so blind that they can't tell that Charlie Kirk is actually the blacks' best friend, and he may even be the he may even be the Palestinians' best friend, because who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, he was saying America first, but yeah, it's kind of messed up.
I saw this old clip of Charlie talking about how Jewish organizations, not just the ADL and Jewish individuals, disproportionately funded the anti-white stuff.
Interesting.
He knew a lot of and said a lot of what was really going on, more than people may give him credit for. And it's so evil to hear an opinion such as about MLK not being the greatest guy, or George Floyd being did he call him a scumbag or something? And assigning the worst intentions about that. He was just telling the facts and making a judgment based on the facts. And it was actually it should be a benefit to black people if they had any sense to not lionize and have heroes who are communists or ushering in victimhood to them, which is an enemy, proving to be an enemy of them. They embrace their enemies, thinking that their enemies are their friends. Terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. But the Christians are fighting back, and the right too. And it's funny they don't give him his flower, because in these magazines that they're publicized in, they're like right, far, extreme, Charlie Kirk. They can't be normal and not politicize it. It's crazy to see.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, man.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
No. All right, you too. Hey, have a good Friday. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, sir. Tony, sometimes known as Toby, in California. What's up, man?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. Can you come off of speakerphone or Bluetooth or whatever? You're not sounding as clear as Jermaine was.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if I got it.
Man, Tony, you're lucky.
Okay, how's it now?
Much better. You're lucky that I'm so gracious. Bow down and thank me. Kiss my feet.
Okay, yeah, okay. I will kiss it. Just bend over.
Whoa.
Bend over. I got something for you. But look here, my friend.
I disclaim that. I don't know what he meant. Go ahead.
How come no one is talking about that school shooting in Colorado with the white supremacists yesterday?
That was a white supremacist? You mean 2 days ago?
I mean, well, it was. I thought it was yesterday.
I thought that it was 2 days ago, same day as the Charlie Kirk shooting. But maybe there was another one.
Okay.
Because there was one, and I don't know if it's a white. I didn't hear that it was white supremacist. It was a guy who ended up killing himself, I heard. Rest in peace.
Well, there were white folks too. They kill themselves, you know?
Well, fortunately, it seems that the Charlie Kirk assassin may be the son of a Christian man, and maybe a Christian himself. So he did not kill himself. Thankful. I'm so happy that Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin did not hurt himself, at least, because it's not right to do. Never commit suicide. Everything gonna see all right, or be all right. We love the Bloods and the Crips unity. We are America. Red, white, and blue.
What is you talking about? Hey, what the Bloods and Crips got to do with anything?
Only I know in my mind. I shall not explain. But anyway, going back to the thing, that's not as, all lives don't get the same worldly attention because they just don't demand the same worldly attention. But to God, everyone is.
Kirk anyhow? Why is he getting so much publicity?
Because he was a
KKK member.
He was a beautiful soul, known by many. That's
why. A white nationalist supremacist.
Nothing of the sort. We wish.
Yes, it is. He was a white nationalist.
You wish.
That's a supremacist. He was a white nationalist supremacist.
He was white and a patriot.
A patriot? What is a patriot? Explain
a man who loves America, or a woman, a man or woman who loves America.
America don't give a hoot about nobody walking on this planet.
That doesn't matter. Okay? We don't need them. We don't need America to love us. It's we love America. If we love anybody.
Okay.
Do you love America?
Do you give a hoot America before you put your holy father, right?
Do you give a hoot about your fellow Americans?
A fellow Americans?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Fellow human beings, maybe not Americans. No.
Why are you dehumanizing your fellow human beings by not giving a hoot about your fellow Americans?
No. Because the thing is, we're not the only people on this planet. I give a hoot about every human being that's walked on this planet, no matter where you come from or who you are. Okay? I treat you with the same respect, and I was hoping.
But that's not what we asked.
Give to me.
Then how come you said no? You don't give a hoot about your fellow Americans.
Bro, the thing is, it's not just Americans here.
Well, nobody said that it was.
I'm saying human beings.
You'll notice Charlie Kirk loved even the people overseas. He loved Israel, for example.
Oh,
Loved Israel.
Oh, man, come on, man. Come on now. How about this?
Are Israel your fellow human beings?
Did he love Johannesburg? Did he love Kobo? Did he love Jamaica?
If he's a Christian, yes.
What's a Christian? What is a Christian?
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, that's why.
Jesse Lee Peterson?
Christianity is falling off the face of this earth.
Donald J. Trump?
Because of that fake. Because it's so fake. It's man-made.
JLP is not fake. You're fake.
Come on, Jesse Jr.
Thank you. I'm flattered, but flattery will get you Thank you for the compliment, but flattery will get you nowhere, Tony.
Okay, Jesse Jr. I feel you, bro. I feel you. But the thing is, man, why y'all not putting no concern about the gun control? All these
I'm very concerned.
shootings.
I don't think gun control is the right thing to do.
What you and Jesse gonna do about the shootings of schools, man? What? Y'all gonna put
encourage
gun
people
control
encourage people to overcome anger.
No. What about these guns, man? Unnecessary guns going in. That boy was 16
All guns
years
matter.
old. Where you get a gun from?
All guns matter.
At 16, why did a 16-year-old get a gun and go shoot a school? Tell me that.
Because he was angry.
Where he get it from? Who gave it to him?
Doesn't matter. He was angry.
No,
A
angry ain't got nothing to do with it.
16-year-old can have a gun and never shoot anybody if he's not angry.
Excuse me.
But you encourage anger.
Anger has nothing to do with this.
Yes, huh?
How about evil? How about evil?
Anger is evil.
Well, no, love is evil too.
Yeah. The fake love definitely is evil. The love that you have for all people is evil love, Toby.
See, the thing is,
because you lie. You come on here and lie. Tell the truth, brother. Hello? Oh.
Also have
you cut out there.
In ourselves too.
What'd you say?
I said we have love in ourselves, and we also have evil in ourselves. It all depends on.
That's because our love is evil.
Well, the thing is that we are evil. How about that?
Exactly.
Every human being that's walking on this face of this earth is evil.
That's right, Jesse Jr.
So the thing is, I'm glad that I was able to.
Are you my twin brother? Are you my fellow twin brother, Jesse Jr.?
I can be. If you start loving some black folks, you'll be all right.
I do love certain black people.
No. Don't say that.
Is Jesse black?
You're lying through your teeth now.
I never lie. Lying is sin.
Well, no, it ain't. Justice said lying is
Thank you, Jesse Jr.
Justice said lying is perfectly okay.
Sometimes.
Because he does it every and each day.
So do you. Is lying perfectly okay with you?
No, it's not.
Then how come you lie every day that you call in?
Because I don't lie every day, okay?
Oh, well, you're lying right now.
I want y'all to say y'all love black folks.
We all love black people.
And you want to love the homeless as well down the street. Go feed the homeless down the street.
I definitely love the homeless. If I love anybody, I love the homeless so much.
When the last time you fed a homeless person?
Feeding them is hate. That's hate.
When the last time you went down the street?
15 or 20 years ago, I fed the homeless and gave them red punch. And that was out of guilt and being nice and Christian. And it was fake.
Well, why are you not helping them now? 15 years, that's a long time
Because helping
ago,
is hurting them.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
and it's hurting us, too. It's destroying Los Angeles, Toby.
Didn't your Jesus say to help those who are unfortunate?
No.
Yes, he did.
No.
Jesus didn't hang out with the rich. He hung out with the poor, brother, as your Bible.
He also hung out with tax collectors who were rich.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
He condemned them.
He never condemned tax collectors.
Why do it say a person of riches would not see the kingdom of heaven?
Take everything that you hear with a grain of salt, kids and adults and ladies.
Come on,
what did you say? What did you ask me?
Why do your Bible say that the rich would not inherit the kingdom of heaven?
It doesn't say that.
It says easy. It does say that. What are you talking about?
It doesn't say the rich won't enter.
Oh, you think Charlie Kirk is in there? He burning in hell right now.
Who? Charlie Kirk?
Where he at now?
Is that your love for all people coming through?
Where's Charlie at now? Where's Charlie at now?
The Lord knows, and you're not him.
And like Jesse said, he dead. He dead.
He's not
you
dead.
You reap what you sow, bro. You reap what you sow. Remember that.
And what did Charlie Kirk sow, according to you?
A hole in the neck.
So he gave somebody a hole in the neck?
No, all that evil.
Do you know what sowing means?
Excuse me. All that evil that came out his lips caused that hole in his neck.
What evil came out of his lips?
What evil?
Yeah.
Everything he said about the gay community, everything he said about the Jews,
the gay
everything
community,
he said about the blacks, everything he said.
So you don't know anything that he said.
He talked about Trump and that Epstein file. Hey, that had a lot to do with it too.
So you don't have any clue. In other words,
yes, I do.
You're just spewing evil and celebrating the death of your fellow Christian, or you're not Christian. You're celebrating the death of your fellow human being with your vicious self.
I'm not celebrating nothing.
With your mean, nasty, evil, vicious self, Toby.
Hey,
shame on you.
Remember this, like I said.
I bet you.
Y'all spoke evil on George Floyd. Now
what evil did I say about Georgia, Florida?
You know what you say about George Floyd.
What, like what?
That he was a deadbeat dad and all
I
this
never
stuff.
called him that.
Yes, you did. Yes,
no, I didn't.
Yes,
That's not even my vernacular. No such thing
oh
as deadbeat dads.
Really? Come on, bro.
There's no such thing as deadbeat dads.
Keep it 100.
You keep it 100. Every time you call in, you lie.
Hey, your father talking about he was calling for his mother. Mama.
And looking down into hell.
See.
No, he just was asking.
That's the evil. That's
not evil. It's funny. It's cute. It's like jokes. It's a dark joke.
You can't. Okay,
it's a dark joke. It's not as nasty and evil as you talk about Charlie Kirk sewing a hole in the neck.
You reap what you sow, my friend. You reap what you sow.
So what are you going to reap?
Excuse me?
What are you going to reap since you're sowing all this evil and lies and hatred and violence?
It's the truth. It's the truth.
So you're going to reap the truth? That's for sure.
Hey, I'm speaking the truth to you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Tony. I got to run. Take care.
Take care, brother. Next time.
All right. What a nice, evil person. Kind of like Tariq. Terrible. Dennis in New Jersey on the line here. Dennis, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Can you hear me?
I can. I hear you fine. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Oh, that's what's up. Hey, I wanted to ask you a few questions about Charlie Kirk and the gun violence thing in the United States. But before I got there, I wanted to ask you, do you consider yourself a historian or even someone who's versed in African American or Black American history in the United States?
Sure. For the sake of discussion, yeah, I'm an historian, somewhat versed in Black history in America.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I hear you regurgitating a lot of things that Jesse Lee Peterson says, but I don't.
Oh, did you hear me? I was actually reading what JLP wrote on X. But yeah,
okay.
yeah. But definitely, I scoff at the notion that stuff was so bad for Black people back then. It's way worse now.
Yeah, because my grandparents they're a little bit older than Jesse Lee Peterson, and they come from the South too, the Deep South,
the beautiful
and
South.
From my understanding, Jesse Lee Peterson comes from the South. He might even come from one of the plantations, or his family might even come from one of the plantations my family came from.
Nice.
In the Deep South. And yeah, during the Jim Crow era in the Deep South, it was, most Black people, it wasn't a lot of jobs in the South, and it still isn't, for the most part. But a lot of Black people, particularly my grandparents or maybe even Jesse Lee Peterson, left the South for more job opportunities in the North.
Stay close to your phone so you come through as clearly as possible.
Oh, I was saying that a lot of Black people, they migrated out of the South around the Jim Crow era, or a little bit after the Jim Crow era and the Civil Rights era, into the major cities like Washington, D.C., New York City, Philadelphia, Detroit, Chicago, even Los Angeles for more job opportunities.
Right.
And a lot of those job opportunities, they weren't, they didn't require college education, things of that. They were more manufacturer jobs that we took advantage of. And a lot of those manufacturing jobs started to leave those major cities right around, we started to see welfare and things like that, and fathers leaving the house, leaving the homes right around that era when all of those factory jobs were leaving those major cities. So I think it was a case where the government said that if you have a family or if you're a woman and you live and you need support, through welfare, then you can have a man in your house. So a lot of men just were forced to leave the house just to have their kids or their family have food to eat.
They weren't forced, but it was a greedy situation. They went for the easy route.
Well, what other route was there? You starved to death? I mean,
nobody was starving.
To grow your own crops in the United States, isn't it?
What's that?
Isn't it illegal to grow your own crops in the United States? You have to buy from.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, if you live in the South and you have enough land to grow your crops, then maybe you can grow enough crops.
Are you on like a speakerphone or something?
What's that?
Are you on a speakerphone or something?
No, I'm not. Am I spitting into the microphone or something?
Oh, you're on a mic? You're on like a Bluetooth or a headset or something?
No, I'm
okay.
No, right into the phone.
I guess it's okay. I don't know. I hadn't heard that it's but you sound like you're giving excuses for black people lying about their marital status and whether the father is in the home, or having the father leave so that they could get welfare. And like you're acting as if they needed welfare, which I don't buy that, man. It doesn't sound right.
It does sound right, but
it doesn't sound true. Yourself,
you're not really your story, and then you don't know exactly what happened, right?
That's a leading question. I don't have to know exactly what happened to know that, in general, welfare was a bribe, not a necessity.
Okay. Well, the reason why I'm bringing up a lot of this stuff mainly is to wrap it into the Charlie Kirk incident, and mainly because Charlie Kirk, do you think he genuinely cares about black people in the United States, or black Americans or African Americans in the United States, or do you think a lot of his campaigning or political views were just used to like promote right-wing propaganda?
Both. Right? He knew that the right wing was the best thing for the blacks, and he knew that they were lying about so-called civil rights, and that they were lying about how bad it was for blacks back in the olden days. He knew that blacks are worse off today than they are now. And so that was he seemed to have a Christian love for the blacks and a true belief in what he was promoting, which was normie conservatism. What do you think?
So his idea to help black people was to go around all white colleges and tell black people how they're not doing enough for themselves.
He didn't go around all white colleges. He went to any college that would take him. What do you mean? Why are you so black-eccentric? You sound like one of those black-centric people.
I'm just saying, if you're genuinely concerned,
I hear he is talking to a black person. I don't know if you heard this clip. Let me play it for you real quick. And tell me what you disagree with, because you seem to be making implications that don't make any sense. Here.
It shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad. It was evil. But what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000 black men, women, and children were killed in violent lynch mobs.
That's your explanation. But I guess,
racial terror permeated American culture for hundreds of years.
Black America is worse than it has been
that affected
in the last 80 years.
The generational psyche of an entire group of people?
Well, I'm sure it did. I'm not discounting that. I'm just it shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was.
Yeah, the data shows that blacks were actually better in the 1940s. They worked. They committed less crimes. Their families were together.
Can you expound more on exactly better? What does that mean?
I just did. They had less crimes. They had their families. They worked. They had their
so the whole
families, they
entire
worked,
country
they committed less
crime in
crime.
the 1940s, right?
Sorry, we keep on talking exactly the same time. That's obnoxious. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. I didn't.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So you're saying that the entire country committed less crime in the 1940s, correct?
Indeed.
Yeah, so it's not just a black thing.
I know, but we're talking, if you're talking about whether blacks were better off or worse off before so-called civil rights and the welfare state being so expanded, FDR certainly messed things up, too.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain earlier to you, how black people left the South for more job opportunities.
Right, but that has nothing to do with welfare.
My grandparents reported.
What?
Hello?
Yeah,
I was saying,
leaving
like,
the South. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my grandparents were part of that movement from the South. They lived in the deep South, South Carolina and Georgia,
right?
And they moved into New York, Philadelphia area for more opportunities, job opportunities after World War I. And they did that because my grandfather and my grandmother were able to find like stable income in the inner cities. Like my grandfather worked in the manufacturing plant. My grandmother worked with train stations.
Right, JLP moved to California because California was heaven on earth. Los Angeles was. It didn't have Koreatown or anything. Not that Koreatown's that bad, but it's pretty packed and difficult even to find parking. So it was very nice over here, and he came over here, and his uncle and aunt were over here, and he got himself a job, got himself a house, got himself a little business after working in multiple jobs. And yeah, blacks migrated. Now blacks are going back to the South because the Hispanics took over the area and pushed the blacks out. So many blacks are going back to the South, but that has nothing to do with, that I'm aware of, with the welfare state and the so-called civil rights movement.
Well, I just told you that is because in the 1940s, we were so-called doing better because we had more job opportunities in the 1940s, brought up manufacturing plants and opportunity to grow families.
Maybe so. You might be right. There may have been other stuff going on as well, of course. I don't discount that. But we're talking about how bad it was, the Charlie Kirk and JLP and Hake both, and I'm sure you recognize that the so-called civil rights movement was awful because it pushed blacks into thinking about racism like crazy, where it doesn't even make sense. Not that it ever does. And they're victim-minded, welfare-minded, government doing for you minded, socialist, communist, believing lies, not wishing their fellow men well, self-centered, black-centered. It's terrible. Have you noticed that?
Well, the government taxes the people, doesn't it?
What?
The government taxes the people.
What's that have to do with how bad blacks' mindset is nowadays?
Well, I'm saying if the government taxes the people and they reinvest the money to promote economics in certain areas, then of course, you know, if all of that money is getting reinvested in white areas, then of course those people in those areas are going to flourish more than people whose areas aren't getting invested in by the government.
You're falling into the same communist victim atheist mindset as my friend Dylan Burns. You're acting like the government is the reason that the whites are doing better, when in reality the government is why everybody's doing worse, and especially the blacks, because the blacks especially want to depend on the government. The government is over-invested in blacks. That's part of the problem, because the government is rewarding evil.
Smaller government then.
That would help, but I'm talking about the blacks' mindset. You didn't answer my question about the blacks' mindset being so bad after the so-called civil rights movement. The blacks are all black-centric.
It's simple. I'm not sure if you're really good at logic, but you just said that the blacks' logic, or even Charlie Kirk has said in the past, and I like to add a caveat. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk.
Nice.
My condolences to his family. Looks like he had a very beautiful family, and looks like they were on the way to having a very prosperous life, and I'm sorry that happened to him. But what I was saying in regards to what you were saying about the mindset is the black family got broken apart. Part of the reason why the black family got broken apart, and we've talked about that already, is because of the lack of the financial opportunities that were in their community.
No, man, anyway, I can we get back to what I had mentioned though?
Yeah, well, right. You said, what is the mindset? Part of a good mindset for youth growing up is the father in the home, right? And the stable family, right?
Yeah.
Without financial opportunity in the United States, and you can't survive in the United States without money, father or no father, then that's where it comes from.
Money is not the issue, man. Why are you being so communist? Are you a Christian?
Yes, I believe in Christ.
How do I turn off the so then I get that being black, a lot of black Christians fall for this materialist mindset. There's the family. That's why I went to JLP's thing. There's the beautiful family that Dennis very kindly mentioned. Charlie Kirk, daughter first, then a son, wife older than him, but a beautiful family regardless. Okay, so yeah, what you don't realize, man, is that money doesn't make the attitude, or lack of thereof doesn't make the attitude, and money or lack thereof doesn't make a father stay or leave. I get that there can be outside pressures that influence and tempt and all that stuff, and bribe, and pressure and stuff. The government can definitely be a bad influence, for sure. But perhaps the disconnect is that blacks had so-called leaders like MLK, for example, that the black older people knew not to follow, but younger people like your parents or grandparents, I mean, the ones in their 70s, right? Or maybe 80s.
80s and 90s.
Yeah, 80s and 90s. Those are the younger blacks of the time who fell for the lie of victimhood, of government solutions, of welfare, of blame and victimhood and hate, and black identity and stuff. That people like JLP.
Black men.
That people like JLP and Charlie Kirk are sounding the alarm and encouraging you guys to get past. And that has nothing to do with money or not money, government or not government. It has to do with thinking for yourself and not having excuses and not having false heroes like MLK or Obama or whoever. And not having a black mindset of thinking black all the time. You know what I mean?
Well, one wise man once said that money talks and BS walks.
Right. So why do blacks fall for the BS instead of making money? Bogus speech,
exactly.
By the way.
And the one last.
Well, you didn't even answer my question. Are you Tony?
Well, who's Tony?
Tony was the caller right before you. He was a very nasty person, unlike you. You're very nice. Tony's kind of nice until he's not. I don't know, man. You don't seem to comprehend what I'm saying, and I can't get through to you.
I comprehend what you're saying. You're saying pick yourself up, stop blaming other people, and I'm telling you
that's not what I said.
What are you talking about?
That I said that blacks think black, and that's so sorry, kids, but stupid.
Okay, whatever.
And you don't realize that it's stupid, or do you agree or disagree, or do you know what I mean by that?
Blacks think black.
Yeah, and it's so
I think
counterproductive.
I think if a person is gainfully employed and has some money to make and prosperity for themselves, I think that person, irregardless of color, would focus on that.
No.
But as far as like blacks think black, like whatever, like how am I going to make money off of that slogan? That might work for you, but it don't work for us.
It's not a slogan. It's not a slogan that blacks think black, dude. What is us? What are you talking about? Is your name Ronnie from Ohio? Oh, Lord. Why did you, when you think of Charlie Kirk, why did you think of what he said about black people?
What do you mean?
I talked about Charlie Kirk. Why did you think of what he said about black people?
Well, I hadn't really covered him a lot, prior to.
When you called in about Charlie Kirk and what I was talking about and what JLP had said about that stuff, why did you think about black people?
That was just like, I wanted to, my original thing I called in was about whether or not Charlie Kirk was genuinely concerned about, the prosperity of black people in the United States.
Yeah, and why do you think about black people's prosperity, and why would you think that? Why are you even concerned what Charlie Kirk may have thought about?
I'm just saying, like, why even talk about black people if he's not even concerned about black people?
Why are you concerned about? Why even talk about it though?
Yeah, that's why I asked you. I said, "Do you?"
No, why are you concerned about it?
I'm not concerned about it. It was just a talking point.
Well, why talk about it?
Because this is a talk show, ain't it?
No, but why focus on this particular topic? Why choose this topic? Why question his genuineness?
What I wanted to get to, like, is different things, different ideas that I think that could help, improve the state of black people in the United States.
The state of you think what would improve the state of black people is the government investing in black people?
It might work.
It already didn't work. It made things worse, dude. You just acknowledged that it made things worse too.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, you did. Remember you said that they supposedly couldn't get a job or whatever, and so they needed that welfare, and they couldn't have the parents in the home, so you're blaming the government for the blacks giving up their fathers. Remember that?
Well, I think that when people get into like a desperation mode, whereas survival mode, that they don't make the greatest decisions.
So you're making excuses. You're making excuses for blacks' desperation and survival mode, self-destruction.
Making excuses, like,
yeah.
What
you're saying blacks were desperate and needed to survive, and so they're just. That's why they did it, and they didn't make a good. They didn't make good decisions because they were desperate and needed to survive. You're casting victimhood and blackness all over your conversation. Do you realize you have a black mindset?
Yeah, sure. I have a black mindset. Okay.
Do you know what that means? Why are you having an attitude about me saying that?
Because it's stupid.
It is stupid that you have a black mindset.
No, I mean the whole idea, the whole phrase is stupid, and it's like
the phrase "black mindset" is stupid.
Have that conversation.
How is it stupid?
I have to work to be that dumb.
How is it? I don't think you realize how dumb you are already being.
Okay, sure thing.
Don't be mad. Don't be somber about it. Why are you shutting down? What's making you shut down right now?
Hey, whether I'm dumb or smart is still not going to change. Or whether you think I'm dumb or smart.
No, I'm not even talking about dumb I'm talking about unwise. You're being very unwise. You're thinking in a worldly money sense rather than a spiritual independent thinking sense. You're thinking in terms of group and victimhood rather than individual and common sense.
Is this a church or something? Are we having church, or are we talking about politics in the United States, because we know politics.
No,
is
I have
driven
not
by-
said I have not said hardly anything about politics. You're the one talking politics and finance. I've been talking about the spirit that oppresses black people because they've bought into following and citing, being all into facts rather than being into truth.
And Charlie Kirk was a political activist, right?
Yes.
That's why I'm talking about.
He was also a
politics.
Christian, though.
Yeah, well, I never seen Charlie Kirk having a sermon in church. So if we want to talk about his understanding of the Bible, we can do that at a later date. But I don't know what his belief systems are in regards to that.
Yeah, I don't think you knew Charlie Kirk at all, but you seemed to. Why did you even ask if he seemed not genuine?
I'm just asking if you
did you have an impression, honestly speaking? Yes or no? Did you think that he was not genuine?
No, not entirely. I think some of it was genuine, and a lot of it was politically driven. I think he was pushing, or promoting his political right wing ideologies for the most part.
And is that contrary to black well-being? I agree with you, by the way. I think he was definitely political.
I mean, it can be positive. It can be negative. I don't think it's either or. I just think that, he was just a political pundit that was talking his junk, and then
yes,
I don't know, a radical crazy person shot him, and I'm sorry that happened, but I was just asking if you think he was genuine in the stuff he believed, because if so, then they had ideas that I think that could help African Americans. But I did want to talk about weapons and stuff like that in the United States. So,
all right, real quick, let's do it. I have other callers, but I enjoy talking with you, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I enjoy talking to you too. Yeah, so I mean, I understand your stance on it, and the NRA has a lot of power in the United States, what have you. And weapons manufacturers. So what's going on with that? Do you think the right wing or the Republican Party is going to have to change their stance on Americans having weapons in the United States, or do you think this is just a one-off thing, or do you think this is becoming like a plague that's going to have serious implications long term for the health and well-being of
Stay close to your phone. It's you may have moved your mouth a little bit away from the receiver. So you said that the NRA has a lot of power in America, and we have this scourge of. You didn't use the term gun violence, did you?
Yeah, something similar to that, like a lot of shootings. Do you think that we can go on the way that we're going in regards to all of these weapons running around in the streets of America? Or do you think more stricter gun laws need to be implemented before this gets way too out of hand?
I think the gun laws will make things worse. I think we need more guns in the hands of decent and innocent and law-abiding people. More freedom to carry, to keep the criminals at bay, and to keep the government at bay, because the government wants the criminals going out of control, and to disarm the innocent people so that the innocent people are sitting ducks, so that there can be more tragedies, so that the government can swoop in and pretend to care about us and swoop in with false solutions and bring it further self-destruct America, because the government is mama right now, and mama leads the homes in self-destruction, just like you saw with the black families ever since so-called civil rights. And so we need freedom and responsibility. Crack down on the criminals, not on the guns. Make sense?
Okay, so you say put more guns out there.
Yeah, we need more guns running around on the streets. You said that guns are running around on the streets. Meaning meaning criminals are running around, or soon to be criminals are running around with guns.
what if good people don't want to carry a gun?
All good people want to carry. Okay, all right, I'm kidding around a little bit. Okay, so some of the people may not want to. They might not want to bother. That's fine. But some people would like to carry, and they're not allowed to because we live in either the People's Republic of California or the communist state of New Jersey or wherever all over the country. And that's not right.
Yeah, I mean, because a gun isn't a toy. It's something to play with.
Exactly.
So
Well, it's a
something-
toy. It's something to play with, but it's something to play with responsibly. And it's also a weapon to be used responsibly or not used in a responsible way. So, nice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is something that you need to keep track of 24/7 to make sure it's in the safe hands.
Who's you?
It's not in the
Who by you need to keep track of 24/7? Who are you referring to? The government or the gun owner or who?
The gun owner. So if
The
I'm
gun
running
owner should
back and
track
forth-
his own weapons? Yeah. The gun owner should know what's up with his weapons. Not leave them around for people to kill themselves, kids to kill themselves or one another with like the blacks do so often. Shout out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Lord.
well, yeah, that's kind of wild. Talk about black kids killing each other.
Yeah,
That's
they leave like not even a parent. I heard in I forget which Birmingham, Alabama, I think it was, just like the other week, like a 6-year-old got a hold of a weapon, according to, as I recall, like a black police chief over there. It wasn't even the parent who left the gun unattended. It was an irresponsible other adult. And so, yeah, we need parents. Parents would definitely help, fathers and mothers, rather than this gun control
what
stuff.
I'm saying is like we live in a economy that keeps us so running around, hustle bustle just to make enough money to pay our bills, and then on top of that, 24/7, we got to be the police officers of our communities as well, carrying weapons, make sure in that cycle. Don't you?
It's the man's job to look out for his community. It's not the cop's job. The cop's job is to clean up the mess afterwards. 911 is a joke in your town, as you know. Come on, man. Let's be serious. Law enforcement is for enforcing the law after the fact. They don't stop crime. They can a little bit, but you know, I gotta run, Dennis. Well, let's talk again next week if you can.
All right, no problem. Talk to you later.
Appreciate you, man. 30 minutes with Dennis there. And I'm going to have to start wrapping up. Rick in Hampton, VA, and Steven in Maryland. I don't know if I'll be able to get to you guys, okay? I have some super chats to read, you know? Popcorn's Thump Keg gave a follow-up, Cesar too. And then the Fallen State happening. You tried to spin the last caller's argument about black people needing economic opportunity as him being materialist. That's not spin, that's literally it. And said money isn't everything. I don't think that he said it. I didn't say money isn't everything. When Jesse gets on air and asks for money to pay salaries, is he being materialist or is he needing money to take care of business and reality of life? No, man. He was making excuses for blacks leaving their homes as just a money thing and a desperation thing when it was a bribe. He pretended it wasn't a bribe. He pretended it was necessary. You literally thought welfare or starvation. I doubt that. Anyway, lastly, Charlie Kirk thinks being a black pilot means you aren't qualified. No, he doesn't. He said, God, I hope they're qualified. Anyway, listen to the first thing he says here. He makes being diverse, i.e. non-white, means you aren't qualified. I mean, that's the situation that you people who believe in this thing called diversity or whatever is, oops.
It was bad. It was evil.
Oops, that's not it. What? Where are we? I gotta close up shop here. I'll have to check that out later, Popcorn. Cesar Caesar says, great intro today, man. Powerful vocals, sub 8. And I'll have to read the rest of your coffee on Monday, man. I'm sure you'll understand. He says this coffee might not read since it's coming in so late. Thanks, man. The Fallen State coming up next. Peace in the Middle East. Or at least in your hearts. And thank you, Popcorn, for the tip. I'll have to play that on Monday if I'm live. Take care. Bye. Callers, you're the priority next time, I guess.